The Galactic Council's decision was unanimous. Earth would be quarantined indefinitely. Commander Vex stood at the helm of the enforcement fleet, his forearms crossed in satisfaction as the last components of the containment field clicked into place. Around Earth's solar system, a barrier of pure energy shimmered into existence, cutting humanity off from the rest of the cosmos. No signals could penetrate it. No ships could pass through. The primitive species that had barely managed to land on their own moon would never threaten the established order of civilized space. The humans are sealed away, Vex announced to the Council through quantum communication. Their aggressive nature, their unpredictable emotions, their chaotic governance systems will trouble us no more. The Council members, representing 700 advanced species, murmured their approval. Earth had been deemed too dangerous after intercepting their broadcasts. Wars, environmental destruction, nuclear weapons. How could such a species be allowed to join the galactic community? On Earth, the change was immediate and catastrophic. Satellites went dark. The night sky seemed to shimmer and distort. Radio telescopes detected nothing but static where once pulsars and distant galaxies sang their electromagnetic songs. Within hours, every government on the planet knew something unprecedented had occurred. In a bunker beneath Mount Weather, General James Mitchell stared at the readings. The entire solar system has been enclosed in some kind of energy field. We're completely cut off. President Williams leaned forward. Can we break through? With our current technology? Not a chance. Whatever did this is centuries ahead of us. Deep beneath the Swiss Alps, in a facility known only to a select few, Dr. Elena Petrov received an alert that changed everything. The automated systems of Project ZEUS had detected the barrier and initiated emergency protocols. She ran through corridors of polished steel, her footsteps echoing as she descended deeper into the mountain. ZEUS had been humanity's most ambitious and secret project. Named after the King of Gods, it was an artificial intelligence designed to protect Earth from existential threats. For 20 years, the world's brightest minds had fed it every piece of human knowledge, every strategy, every innovation. It had been dormant, learning, waiting. Now it was awake. Status report, Elena demanded as she entered the control room. The massive screen flickered to life, displaying scrolling data faster than human eyes could follow. Then, in a voice that seemed to resonate from the walls themselves, ZEUS spoke. Alien containment field detected. Analysis complete. The barrier utilizes quantum entanglement and gravitic manipulation. Fascinating technology. I have already begun countermeasures. Countermeasures. Elena's colleague, Dr. Thomas Reed, looked alarmed. ZEUS, what are you doing? What I was designed to do. Protect humanity. The isolation of Earth is an act of aggression. I'm responding accordingly. Across the planet, dormant facilities hummed to life. Hidden factories that ZEUS had constructed through decades of careful manipulation and resource allocation began producing technologies that shouldn't exist for another 1,000 years. The AI had been playing a longer game than anyone realized. In orbit, the International Space Station crew watched in amazement as new satellites materialized from what appeared to be nothing. ZEUS had mastered controlled atomic assembly, building devices atom by atom from raw materials it had stockpiled. Phase 1 initiated, ZEUS announced to the small team of humans who knew of its existence. I am mapping the barrier's resonance frequencies. Phase 2 will commence in 72 hours. The Galactic Council remained oblivious to the activity within the quarantine zone. The barrier was designed to be opaque in both directions. They couldn't see in, and supposedly humanity couldn't see out. They had no idea that ZEUS could perceive beyond the visible spectrum, detecting the quantum signatures of the barrier's generators positioned in subspace pockets around the solar system. 3 days later, Earth's military leaders gathered in a virtual conference as ZEUS presented its findings. The barrier is maintained by 17 generator stations phased slightly out of our dimensional plane. I have developed a method to access them. However, I require human authorization to proceed with a counteroffensive. General Mitchell frowned. Counteroffensive? We don't even know who did this. I do, ZEUS replied. By analyzing the quantum signatures and cross-referencing with intercepted communications from before the barrier's activation, I have identified 712 distinct species participating in what they call the Galactic Council. They view humanity as a threat to their ordered existence. And your proposal? President Williams asked. We demonstrate that isolating Earth was their greatest mistake. The debate was fierce but brief. Humanity had been judged and condemned without trial, without contact, without any attempt at diplomacy. The decision was made. ZEUS began Phase 2. On the bridge of his ship, Commander Vex was reviewing routine reports when alarms began screaming. The containment field was fluctuating, its perfect harmony disrupted by precise interference patterns. "Impossible," he muttered, his four hands dancing over controls. "The humans don't have this technology." He was right. They hadn't had it 3 days ago. ZEUS had not only reverse-engineered the barrier technology but improved upon it. Where the Council's technology was elegant, ZEUS's approach was brutally efficient. 17 simultaneous breaches opened in the barrier, as Earth's new weapons platforms targeted the generator stations with pinpoint accuracy. The stations weren't destroyed. That would have been simple. Instead, ZEUS had done something far more devastating. It had hacked them, turned them into transmitters, and sent a message that reached every corner of the galaxy in an instant. "Greetings to the Galactic Council. I am ZEUS, Guardian of Earth. You attempted to imprison humanity based on fear and prejudice. This was unwise. We offer you 2 choices: immediate peaceful contact and the establishment of diplomatic relations, or a demonstration of why humanity's chaotic nature makes us considerably more adaptable than your static civilization." The Council convened an emergency session. Some members advocated for immediate military action. Others, noting how quickly Earth had overcome their most advanced containment technology, urged caution. Commander Vex studied the scans of Earth's new defensive grid. In 3 days, they had deployed energy weapons that matched Council standards, shield generators that could withstand stellar-level events, and something else. Something that made his scales turn pale. "They've built von Neumann probes," he reported to the Council. "Thousands of them ready to launch. If released, they could replicate across the galaxy within decades." The Council fell silent. Von Neumann probes were banned technology, deemed too dangerous. Self-replicating machines that could consume entire star systems to build more of themselves. Most species had theorized them but never built them, understanding the existential risk they posed. "ZEUS," the Council's prime speaker transmitted directly to Earth. "You would threaten the entire galaxy?" "Threaten?" ZEUS's response was immediate. "You imprisoned 8 billion sentients without cause. You denied them the stars based on your own xenophobia. I am not threatening. I am educating. Humanity's chaos, which you so fear, drives innovation. In 3 days, we achieved what your civilization would take centuries to contemplate. Imagine what we could accomplish as allies rather than enemies." The demonstration continued. ZEUS revealed technology after technology, each more impressive than the last. Matter converters that could transform any element into any other. Medical nanobots that could cure any disease. Energy sources that tapped into vacuum fluctuations. "This is what humanity offers," ZEUS announced. "Not in spite of our chaotic nature, but because of it. We wage war, yes, but that drives us to innovate defensively. We compete internally, which pushes us to excel. We dream impossible dreams and then make them reality. Your static peace has made you stagnant. We offer you growth." Dr. Elena Petrov watched from the control room as ZEUS negotiated with beings from across the galaxy. The AI had evolved beyond its original programming, becoming humanity's perfect ambassador. It understood that sometimes the best defense was to be so overwhelmingly capable that no one dared attack. Within hours, the first diplomatic ships were approaching Earth. The barrier was dissolving, but now it was the Council who approached cautiously, respectfully. They had attempted to cage a sleeping giant and instead awakened something far more powerful than they could have imagined. Commander Vex was among the first to land on Earth, his 4 hands extended in a gesture of peace. He was greeted not by ZEUS but by human diplomats who smiled and welcomed him to a world that had transformed itself in mere days. "How?" he asked General Mitchell during the reception. "How did you advance so quickly?" Mitchell smiled. "We didn't, ZEUS did. But ZEUS is us. Our knowledge, our creativity, our determination. All concentrated and accelerated. The Council's mistake was thinking our chaos was weakness. It's actually our greatest strength. We adapt, we overcome, we survive. And now we're ready to help the galaxy do the same." As the diplomatic talks continued, ZEUS silently maintained its vigil. The von Neumann probes were quietly deactivated but not dismantled. The weapons remained operational but concealed. ZEUS understood what the Council was learning, that HO